What's going on?
Oh, not much. I've been laid up last couple of weeks with a issue, but we can get back
Hopefully
to it
you're
this week.
feeling better.
Thanks, sir. Anna, how are you?
And anybody? Anybody? Everybody's muted. What's going on? What's going on, Jared?
Hey man, can
I
you
haven't
hear
seen
me?
you since a couple days now. Like I keep seeing you popping up on all these live streams and all kinds of stuff. So
Hey, I'm not a freemium seeker. Leave me alone. How you been?
what's that?
I said, how have you been?
Oh, been like crazy busy. So it's yeah, it's just been lots and lots going on, lots of project stuff, and it's just yeah. Oh, that's about it.
The
So
call that the call that you and Alok did. What was it last week? That was a good call. Well done on that.
oh, with the review AI and all that for yeah. So this week we're gonna be doing some good stuff with voice and triggers and all kinds of stuff. So
Yeah, sweet man, sweet.
yep. So hopefully we'll have a nice crowd on there. Hopefully everybody will learn some stuff, and hopefully the bots won't all be Australian. So so
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
I don't know why that keeps happening, but I mean, man, that's nothing against you Aussies and Kiwis and all that, but still,
I'm
take it
hearing you.
easy. Take it easy.
I've got mine, which is a UK accent, and and we call him Alfred. And I listened to a call he did yesterday, and I was like, "This sounds so weird," because like we used one of our bots, which is using one of your prompts, and his name's Steve, so
Yeah.
that's more like the demo bot. But then when it comes to Alfred, we like using the UK accent just because it's just a bit of a brain scrambler when you hear that kind of accent
Yeah.
from someone calling from Australia. But yeah, heard it yesterday and I went, wow, that does not sound like the Alfred I know.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody told me, like, oh, my bots sound Australian. Like, and I called and listened, like, oh, well, I'm like, they all sound like Chris Hemsworth. So really, like, what's the big deal? Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. No, it's yeah, I mean it's like I called mine, it's like, hello, my name's Evelyn, and I'm like, I don't think so.
Yeah, when I heard that there was a bunch of them where it was ladies talking like blokes, I went, well,
Yeah.
thank God mine started off as a bloke. Otherwise, people are going to go, well, that doesn't sound how it should.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess I guess it was SynthFlow's problem. So at least that's what Fur was telling me, is that they said, no, it's not our problem. And then their devs got online and looked at it and like, yeah, no, it's your problem. So SynthFlow had to
Yeah,
fix it. So at least
Charles has
we're all back to normal now. So
Charles has got a fresh new look. He's just pulled out the high level shirt fresh out of the box and got the
No,
snapback happening.
he's got a whole
I've got a whole
closet.
closet
He's got
full
an
of
entire
shit.
closet. He's like, well, what to wear? Yeah, this one looks good. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sweet. No, I need to get some shirts printed. I haven't got any shirts printed for myself yet, but I wanted to get. I've been wanting to do it back when we had the expo. I wanted to, but with a week turnaround, it's just trying to get the website and everything all ready in that week was the priority instead of a shirt, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
pretty much everything I needed, but the shirts are going to be the next thing. I just got my ticket for Saspreneur for the Saspreneur event in Sydney, which is at the end of May, which would be cool.
Nice.
And I seen that they've said Billie Jean's attending, so I think that's the only person that I've seen so far that they've announced. So I just need to check out the replay on that as well.
Yeah. I would like to make it to one of the events here pretty soon, but I just I gotta get some projects off my plate and just free up the time. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear what you're saying, man. I've had a couple of good wins this week. I ended up getting a couple of people that have signed up for the review system yesterday
Oh,
and
nice.
on Tuesday or Monday, I think it was. So one's for $400 a month, the other one's for $497 a month. The $497 a month is an inclusion of the leads tool as well. So we've just done a bit of a bundle offer through our site. So we've got a couple of different options that we made for the summit that we went to the other week. So we're just still running with those. Pretty awesome. It was just a reactivation campaign saying we've got a new website that we've built for you to make sure that you can demo how some of this stuff works. And then I just had RJ on a hotline. So the moment that something triggered to say that someone had gone onto our website, you're straight on the phone, dialing in and getting some appointments. So we set that campaign live on Monday, and we've already made a sale from that email campaign, which is sweet.
Very cool.
So
Very
whereas
cool.
we did an AI readiness test, Pat. So we made this assessment for people to check out how AI ready they are for their business.
Yeah.
Pulled in about 450, 480 brokers, accountants around Australia. So just that fit a certain criteria. Crickets, absolutely dead in the water, did nothing.
Yeah,
Had the
AI
team
readiness.
calling, massive no, just bombed massively. And you know, it's like if you've been to our site, because it's only been up for about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But if you go to our site, it is AI focused. It talks about AI and the different tools that we use.
Yeah,
I just think that, thank you. I just don't think people are ready for the assessment just yet. So I'm just going to hold that.
I know that I've seen a few here and there. I mean, I like so just my local take on it is, I'm in the local business club, and the B2B team that I'm on. So I'm in a specific team, but just guys that do commercial, or they do, B2B services, things like that, like I do. And they were looking for somebody to talk about something every week. And they said, "Well, what about you? You can do something on AI." I'm like, "Sure." It's like, "Well, let's just kind of get the temperature. Who's done stuff with AI? What have you done? And like, what do you like? Do you know about it? And what do you want to know?" And the majority of them are just at the awareness. So, and a couple of them like, "Well, I've heard of Chat GPT," and it's like, okay, so
I agree with that.
yeah, we're starting pretty fresh. I mean, I think we're inundated with it, and so it's one of those things where it's easy to kind of gloss over what everybody else doesn't know. So
The event, the event the other week that we did, it was really good for that because we're getting the feedback of where people were at on that journey as well. Temperature checking how they were with AI, how they felt about it, were they using it, and you had some people that just felt so confident. They're like, "Oh yeah, I use AI for everything." It's like, "Oh yeah, so what are you using it for?" "Oh, I use Chat GPT," and it's like, and we're done. Like that's as far as what we're getting with this.
Yeah.
I had a call that was booked from post the event, and someone was like, "Look, I don't need your stuff because I'm already using Chat GPT." And I went, "Well, that's great using Chat GPT, man, but we're talking about actual start to finish marketing solutions. I'm not saying that we've got an AI in a box solution that does everything all automated with AI, but we've got particular skills and services that do things really well, and that's what we want to talk to you about."
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't, and when you do ask everybody if what they've done, it really is like it kind of it stops at I've been using ChatGPT, and what have you been using it for? Like, oh, to help me, kind of plan my vacation. It's like, so not for your business at all. Not even to write. Oh, well, I had to help me write an email. I'm like, I'm sure that email was awesome. It probably started with, "I hope you're well,"
I hope you
and I would
will.
like to
I
help you
know.
elevate whatever, that sort of thing. So yeah,
Inspiration like Tony Robbins. We're going to elevate everything.
yeah, yeah. That's a surefire sign of AI.
Yeah, and Charles just nailed it. I just read his comment there. It's looking at what they need.
Yep.
So
Wait, I have to start caring about people? Oh,
nobody's
is
going to care
over.
about you. Yeah, I know. Nobody cares. It's funny. I did a training on this, because Like everybody's so wrapped up into this voice AI and everything, and like, oh, I'm just going to go tell the world. I'm like, okay, you're forgetting about the whole damn sales process. And if you don't get the actual sales process, and the most important step is number two after the meet and greet, and that's the needs assessment. If you don't know what their needs are, they are going to give two shits less about what you have to offer. It's just because it doesn't resonate with them. And
I think I've
you
heard this
have
from my wife before.
probably, but I mean, it's, and if you can figure out their needs, they will sell themselves if you can identify their needs. And the problem is that a lot of people don't know what their needs are. And so you have to be good enough at the needs assessment process to be able to pull that out of them. Nobody
Yeah.
cares about optimizing their business. Nobody cares about any of that. Nobody cares about optimizing their business profile. Why? Because that's not their need. Their need is they need
Offering the
more phone
solution.
calls.
Yeah. We help you
Right.
get more phone calls.
But
And we
you,
do that by
yeah,
making you show up.
but how do you know that's their problem? How do you know their phone isn't ringing off the hook if you don't ask the questions?
Sure. Yeah.
That's the whole point of that second step is you can never approach it from a standpoint of assuming what they need. Because as soon as you do, you come off as, okay, so now you're telling me how to run my business and what my problems are. Boy, this is a great way to start out the conversation.
Yeah.
And that's how you get kicked out of buildings faster than anything else. It's just like, if you go up to, I'll go to my tried and true example, car dealership. If you walk onto a car dealership and they say, oh, you got two kids. Oh, well, you need this vehicle. How long are you going to talk to that salesperson? Not very long, because you're like, okay, actually, we're here to get a commuting vehicle for my wife because she just got a job that it requires a lot of traveling. We
Mhm.
already have an SUV, but thank you for telling me what my family needs before you even asked us anything.
Right.
It's a horrible approach, and yeah, it's just, it's crazy how many, I get it, voice AI is exciting and all this other stuff is exciting, but you can't forget about the basics. You forget
Yeah.
about the basics, the rest of it doesn't even matter.
Yep.
It's so interesting. I had a furniture store over in Western Australia that I was talking to, and when we last spoke to him, we spoke about the lead tool. We did some stuff there. Anyway, he's like, "Oh yeah, so it's been a while since we've done some stuff. Just wanted to reconnect and see what you can do for me. So what is it that I can look at buying for the business?" And it's like exactly to what Charles is saying. It's like, mate, like I can show you everything, but until I know exactly what it is that you're looking for, there's like 9 different things that I could do. I could throw in the kitchen sink and say, here's all this, but you might only need half of it or one of it. So,
Yep.
and then it ended up being this scaled back conversation. Needs like 2 things, literally. So we're putting a proposal together to talk about that stuff. So, I love that Charles has brought that up because,
Yeah.
the shiny stuff's pretty easy to go running towards.
Well, I'd like to see kind of like if you don't mind sharing your AI assessment or maybe DM it, or I wonder if it'd be like maybe more like a kind of like what Charles had mentioned, something more like a needs assessment, like
Just
what do you,
reframe it. Just
yeah,
reframe the
reframe.
intro. Say, hey, we love getting to know our customers. Mind if we take 3 minutes to get to know you better? And then you ask them general things and you ease into, you know, targeted questions to try to pull out that need that you're ultimately looking for. But what's funny is, uh, when you focus, like you were just saying, Jared, when you focus on their needs, maybe they only need two things. You're going to sell them a whole solution for $500 or $1,000. That's awesome. But if their needs are only two or three things, guess what? You could probably sell them that two or three things for the same exact price. Because to them, that is it. That value is there because that's what they identify as a need, and it is important to them. And so they assign a value to it more than what we might. Like you might go into one business and say, you know what, our invoicing and estimates is totally jacked. Like we don't have any kind of system. Some are paper, some are digital. Like we just need to get organized. Awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
Here's a $300 platform that will do invoicing and estimates. Thank you very much.
And it's less work for you, man.
Yeah.
It's less work because now you're doing these two things instead of going, well, I normally sell all this for the same price, and now I've got to set all this shit up. And it's like, well, don't outdo yourself a service. Like, if you just need those couple of things right and move on, future discoveries. Like, I've been in the advertising space for a long time. And I always just started with like an initial need of what they needed at the time. And that might be a website, that could be Google Ads, whatever the case may be, right? But it's the multiple touch points that you have. It's the reporting where you catch up with them every month and have a chat with them to find out what's new, what they're trying and stuff like that. And then you've got someone that's spending like $5,000 a year to then spending $30,000 to $60,000 a year, purely because you've grown that relationship and started stacking in additional things that they need as they're doing it. So, it's whereas I've had so many people in sales or marketing go, show them everything, put together this big proposal, try and sell it all at once. And it's like, these guys have a budget of $2,000 and you're telling me to sell $40,000 to them. And they're like, yeah, because they need to know it's all there. Like they don't know until they know. It's like, yeah, but they don't need to know about it until they actually need it. And so if they don't need it, there's no point trying to flog all this stuff off. And I tried it probably like 10 years ago when they first pushed it on me. I tried it out and everything tanked. I was making no sales whatsoever. I actually found a photo from about 15 years ago from where I had like all these purchase orders that I had fanned out in my hand from like 1 month of sales. And that was because I then took back that focus of trying to sell everything like they were proposing and go back to the actual things that they needed.
Yep.
Cool. All right. So what other wins or anything like that do we have from anybody this week? And then we'll get to Anna because she's got her hand up.
She's got a hand up.
She's got her hand up.
I want to know if she's going to be as savage as she was last week.
Always. Always.
What's up, Anna?
Oh, are we ready for me? I didn't want to interrupt.
Why not?
Oh, okay.
Let's do it.
Okie dokie. All right. So I actually have a couple of like opinion and technical questions. So I this is kind of what I normally do. I sell something and then now I have to implement it and I'm like, oh, I don't know any other way to say besides curse words, but oh, curse word. Now I have to go do this. Okay. So the bottom line is, I really didn't do anything with the AI employee thing. Okay. So now I sold that and I think I really want to start selling it potentially to lawyers, but for kitchen repair people. That's what I decided to go after. I don't know if I mentioned that before. Anyway, they get a ton of spam calls and they also get a ton of people who are like, they might be tire kickers or not, but they honestly don't know. And it usually takes them like 2-3 days to get back to someone and they might have already gone on, unless there's already a relationship there. They've just, my neighbor recommended you and then they didn't get back to him for 2 days and it's gone, So, okay, so I started your training and then it says that I have to have 2 numbers to demo. So, but
that's a bit on the old side. Because when we were doing it, we couldn't do any booking and we only had a 5-minute time limit on the bots. Now we have a 15-minute time limit and we can do active conversational booking as well. So we're gonna be doing a lot of updates on that here in the very near future.
So are you telling me I wasted all my time?
You didn't waste your time. You learned. You learned a lot?
No, I didn't learn anything because I fell into that problem at the beginning, and it's all your fault. And you ruined my life, Pat. You ruined my life. Not really.
Well, you know what?
No,
Get in line. I do that a lot.
Right? But seriously, so I had to even open a high-level ticket, and the reason is that, okay, so I did have one client that I had an LC phone on, but everybody else is Twilio because I'm you know I've been doing this so long that Twilio was one of the first things. Before that, I had Hellfire, and before that, it was something like If by Phone. Okay, so bottom line, I put 3 numbers into a sub account, and I'm like, I can't click the little thingy and make it to where just this stuff is LC because apparently you definitely have to have LC to have the conversational A, or I don't know, to
Yeah,
have
you
the
have to
little
have it
AI.
for, yeah, you do.
Right. Okay. So that I'm certain of at this point because I already have it at my ticket and they zoomed with me and I'm all like, dude, you're telling me to click here, click. Let's do it. Let's do it on Zoom. So we did, and they saw that I can't do it. You know, like it won't let me just boop, and then take that sub account.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's a couple things. And the guy was, I mean, it was probably 2 or 3 in the morning. So maybe I wasn't getting the best person. They were very nice, but they didn't know. The bottom line is I have clients, we have Twilio, we have the A2P all set up. And I'm pretty sure if I click the button that says, oh, go ahead and just move everything over to LC, I have to redo the A2Ps, which is
Yes.
unacceptable. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
You know, just because it was so hard already. So should I just get another Go HighLevel to do this little bot testing thingy? And do I have to pay $97 a month?
You
Go ahead.
can just switch the one account. You should be
Nope.
able to switch the one account.
Let me
Yeah.
tell you about should, the most expensive word in programming.
Nah.
No, you
I
can.
absolutely cannot. All right. I already have an open ticket on this. I already went through this with HighLevel support. So I have a whole.
You can get it done. I do have Twilio as my main thing. I hardly use LC phone, but you can have specific accounts. The support agent doesn't know who you dealt with, did not know that it's possible, but it is possible.
Yeah.
But do they have to do it? Because
They
I can
have to
tell
do
you
it.
before I did it myself. Now this
No.
is about a year and 4 months ago. I did it myself. I clicked the little button and boop, the account went into LC land. Okay.
So you have to do it through sometimes you can get it done through chat. Sometimes. More
Right.
often you can get an LC phone agency and get a sub account switched to Twilio easier than you can get a Twilio agency and get one sub account switched to LC phone.
Right.
They're so used to switching it like
the other way. Right.
this.
Right,
You're
right.
right. They're used to doing that. They're not used to taking a Twilio agency and turning one sub account to LC. It can be done. It can get done through support. Just run the course of your ticket. They'll get it done.
Oh yeah.
And then, but if you have phone numbers in a Twilio account, you would have to transfer those phone numbers. You have to fill out the same form.
The LOA?
No, so you would have to port your numbers, your numbers from your Twilio's sub account to HighLevel sub account, and then they would assign it to your sub account ID and load those numbers into that LC phone location.
Okay, so that
But
is
you would
an
still
LOA,
have to.
a letter
You
of
would.
authorization for porting. Yeah.
You would. So yeah, but you don't have to do any of the extra documents. You just have to fill out the
Okay,
form.
cool.
If you're on Twilio and you're the agency owner and it's
I
your
am.
Twilio account,
Yep.
all you need to do is fill out the form, create a ticket, fill out the form, and they will move those numbers from your Twilio account to their Twilio account and associate it with that sub account in your agency. You will still have to do A2P registration. The A2P is only to the sub account level. Even in the Twilio, it's only to the sub account level. It's not to the company level.
Look, I've always done
level.
it on Twilio, so I know all. I mean, I've been doing this since they started all their whack
I know.
jobbiness.
I'm just telling you that it's the same thing with LC phone.
Yeah.
Like it's except you're not talking about Twilio sub accounts. You're just talking about sub accounts. Because
So
high level support relates them to the same thing.
this sounds like a process. What would it be faster if I just went and got a little baby HighLevel and just did all the AI demo junk through that? Because that's what I was thinking.
Well, they're also going to be releasing Twilio support for voice AI. I don't, it's supposed to come out this quarter. When this quarter, I don't know, but it's supposed to come out this quarter.
You know, Twilio already has that support.
No.
So-
Twilio has AI support, yes,
They do.
but Twilio does not have
High level.
AI
It
employee
integrates and-
voice support.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. If you build it all yourself in
Right.
Twilio, then
Who
you
wants
have
to do that?
support.
So
Yeah, not me.
high level is releasing support for Twilio with their voice AI.
Hmm.
Sometime this quarter. I don't know when. Could be 2 to 4 weeks from now, could be at the end of this quarter.
Okay, so imagine
3
you're a
months.
person like myself. I don't want to wait. I already did Pat's freaking training, so I just want
It was
to
pretty
be
sweet
done.
training, by the way.
It was except for those inconsistencies in the beginning. No, I'm kidding. It was
Some of that stuff that
fantastic.
wasted my time that had nothing to
Right?
do with what we're doing now.
Yeah, exactly. You need to have your training be at the level I'm at exactly at the moment that I'm at it. Obviously.
We're
No,
working
it's
on an AI thing for that. So
I know, right? It's fantastic training and I love it and it's like wonderful, right? But this is the thing. I'm thinking after
Anna, just listen. Spin up a sub account, get a Twilio number through LC. There's your agent.
that's
That's
what
all
I
you gotta
just
do.
said. That's what
Yep.
I just
No,
said and I
you-
just asked. So you could just say yes, do that. It's faster.
Well,
You-
no. The way you positioned it, you were positioning that you were going to go get another $97 account. That's how I understood it. Don't do that. You
Oh,
have
you
an
mean just
agency
get
account?
a sub account.
Yes.
yeah, you can get they can set up the one sub account with LC.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
See, this is good. This is the answer that I needed. But I need to get 2 phone numbers, right?
No, one.
But no. We're
That's what
actually
your
like so.
training said.
Wait, so Anna, on Wednesday we're doing the high level AI masterclass stuff where we're going to be actually like myself. I don't know if Mike is going to be
Who's this
Back-
we?
Fur Patel that he does all the AI stuff for high level. And so high level is having myself and a lock, and I don't know if Mike is going to be back from his cruise yet or not, but
Maybe not.
maybe not. But
Did
we're
you
all going
tell
to
us
be.
about this?
What's that?
Did you tell us about this?
It's been in the high level group.
Oh well.
Yeah, so you can sign up, register for it. It's like 8 weeks of AI stuff, and they've got like daily stuff like in the or like early like during the afternoon and stuff like that. And Alok and I are doing it in the evenings on Wednesday because, the two Aussies here, so Alok and Jared are the guys that need to be able to go through the AI like during normal hours on, whatever country they're from. So, yeah.
Okay,
So
great.
we're doing the evening hours so people outside the US can actually jump on and get some training for AI. So we're going to be going through the AI agents and like the most current stuff, triggers and workflows and all the cool things that they've added since we released our initial training. Yep.
Training
Massive
every day of the week.
turnout it was.
It's
There was
they
like-
have training every day of the week. So
There was
So,
like
Anna, I've
1,000
dropped-
people on the call. Like it was massive. That just shows you how many engaged Aussies there are. It was huge.
how many? Like 4 or
But
5?
hold on, it's not for us Aussies, man. It's for people who are out of their 9 to 5 in the US, man. That's why
Oh.
those hours.
Yeah, 100%.
All right,
We
Anna,
had
I've dropped the link.
tens of Aussies on the call.
I've dropped the link in the chat, Anna. Just sign up if you want to.
It's all Marty's
am.
fault though. Marty is the one that freaking griped and griped and griped. Oh, Marty,
Yep.
my town hall buddy.
So
Okay.
anyway, yeah, we'll have all kinds of stuff going on for that. So it's
All
just
right, I'm glad
hold-
you
hold
sent
tight.
that along. I signed up.
Okay.
And
awesome.
okay, but you don't understand. I sold stuff. I can't hang tight. This is me hanging tight right now. So
Well,
I
I
need to just
this
do.
is wound tight, not hanging tight.
This is hanging tight. So
Okay.
I'm going to sign up for a sub account. I'm going to get an LC phone number under that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You only
And
need
then
one
what?
number, and then we can help you. Like in our AI Freaks group, we can help you with the prompt that will do like just the straight booking if you need the straight booking. So I've got some prompt templates that I can give you. I can message you on Facebook and just give you the prompts that I've got for now that do the like they'll recognize a repeat caller and all kinds of stuff. So it'll be good.
Okay, so
The
prompts
prompts, we'll
from
set it up,
Pat.
we'll have a few laughs. It'll be good times.
Okay,
And
awesome.
for voice AI demo, you don't need A2P verification and all that. You can just buy a number.
Yep.
I know.
You don't even need like the unlimited AI. You can pay like
Yeah.
until you hit a certain level of usage, the 13 cents a minute is
That is exactly what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
Now, as
Yeah.
far as demoing, is there demoing of an outbound call? Like,
they don't have outbound yet.
okay, that's what I thought, but there was some documentation about that. It just didn't seem like there was a lot of pricing information about it, but I didn't see how you would do the outbound.
Not
Yeah.
on outbound.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not enabled yet.
Yeah.
And
It
they're
ain't.
being very, very careful about how they're
Yeah.
going to release it. If at all. If at all, yeah.
I'll be surprised if it comes out this year. I will be flabbergasted if anything outbound gets released on AI.
And I'll be ready.
They really need to get inbound stable, and then they need to get
Yeah.
conversation AI stable too. So
Okay, now
That might be a
this-
big thing for Level Up, but who knows?
Yeah, this word stable. What instability? Because I did just sell it. You know what I'm saying? So I do not want to have to pay for.
It's
I'm pretty
fine.
sure I
everything's
mentioned
everything's fine.
outbound.
Everything's
It'll
fine.
it'll be fine. It'll
Everything's
be fine.
It's fine.
Okay.
Sean, are y'all
With
Sean
anything
clones?
AI, Anna, it's never going to be perfect. So sell based on that promise. It's gonna be 80% there, but 20% it's gonna glitch. It's gonna have issues. So sell your client based on
Okay,
that.
so that means sell it to contractors and kitchen remodelers and not lawyers. So I'm just
Even
not gonna
lawyers
do
just
lawyers.
set
can sell it to
expectations
anybody.
correctly. Yeah,
You
set
don't understand
expectations
lawyers.
correctly.
That doesn't even exist.
I have lawyers as clients. They're fine. They're my easiest clients.
And they're doing the voice AI stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing voice and conversation, booking appointments through it. They have been for months on the conversation side.
All I'm saying is set expectations
I
correctly.
don't try to sell them like, hey, this is going to land a rocket on the moon, like some people do with AI. Like,
so what is
hey,
your pricing to lawyers?
same as it is everybody, $297.
Okay.
I mean,
his model is SaaS model though. He's just selling the software. If you're doing something
shit up themselves. I mean,
if you're doing something, the pricing is up to you.
Yeah. It's only AI, all the AI tools and most HighLevel is only as complicated as you want to make it. Quite honestly. Yes, you can make voice AI super complicated and get into a whole bunch of scenarios where may or may not work right, yada, yada, yada. If you set it up simply, guess what? It's going to work. It just will. Same thing with conversation AI. It's all depending on how much you want to put on your own plate.
Yep. I do. I have a GPT, Anna, that you can use that'll help you create the prompt. But with all the updates, I mean, that's a little outdated as well. So like we've got it on the whiteboard. Mike and Alok and I are going to be going through with a cue ball and a sock on the AI stuff and all the trainings and cleaning it up and doing some pretty big updates. So stay tuned.
Did you say a cue ball in a sock?
Yep. cue
You're
ball
gonna
in
be
a sock.
beating the hell out of each other.
Well, no, on the templates and the snapshots and stuff. What?
Nothing. I just.
You could also beat the
It's an
hell out of each other with a
interesting.
cue ball
It's
in a
an
sock if you wanted.
Well, that's what I'm like.
There's
Damn.
a lot of
You
uses
guys
for cue
are.
balls and socks. I don't think that hits everyone the same way. Okay, so this is my
Anna.
next question.
Anna. So I set up a campaign for a med spa a few weeks ago to do some lead generation. We were generating lots of leads, forms. The thank you on that was click to book their appointment. Now, I didn't take the time to set up any complex prompt. I didn't know how it was going to do. And we booked with the very basic prompt that comes out of the box with voice AI, 7 appointments.
Wow.
Okay. And the AI, as Charles was saying, that very basic prompt will can't answer every question. If it doesn't know a question, a team member will get back to you. A staff member will get back to you with that. So you can literally go out of the box with the most basic prompt. That's click and play, boom, done. Takes 5 minutes to set up.
Okay.
What he said.
Okay. So if you need something
I didn't
really,
know anybody was selling it for $297. I sold it for way more.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. You were
That's
probably a
does the
lot.
job.
for
You're a lot
$297.
more hands on than I am. I promise you that.
I'm sure.
I don't do shit. I don't even talk to him. So.
But it still does the job, Anna. So don't
Yeah.
stress on that. That it just works. So based on what you set up, if you set up the things the way it's supposed to, it just does the job really well.
Yep.
So it's a good tool. It's a good thing to sell, and if you can sell it for more, obviously sell it for more, right? Don't just think on that. So yeah, we'll help you out. Just stay in touch. If I think Pat said he's gonna help you with the prompt as well. So yeah.
Yeah.
You're good.
Well, I really appreciate it. This is great. Now, my next question, which is kind of completely, totally different, but is anybody using the ads manager? And I think it costs $10 a month for whatever you call it, HighLevel. And are you running Google ads? I've always just run Google ads myself. So I've never used, I use Google ad editor or whatever, but do you recommend?
I'm going to use it for one of my
Hi.
clients. I haven't started using it yet, but I'm going to use it. Looks like it's pretty simple. Rather than going to Google, I would just use this, and why not? It's the same thing.
Anna,
Yep.
same client I was just talking about. Literally bought $10. I want to see how it worked myself. I launched a Facebook form ad. Pat has actually seen the ad. I told him what the conversion was. Conversion was a 3% conversion. It took me all 5 minutes to set the ad up. Love it.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Has anybody done it for Google?
No.
I'm going to use it for
Okay.
Google, but I've seen a lot of videos and tutorials, and they also did a Google workshop this week or last week. Everything is good. It's just simple. Like if you're after a simple Google ad, unless you have all the bells and whistles which Google's ad manager gives you, you want so much complications to be added and all that. I would say just, oh, by the way, it's on 2 weeks free trial as well. You won't be charged for 2 weeks, I think, because they were doing a workshop. So check out with support on that, but it was on 2 weeks trial, so you won't be charged even $10. Launch your ad and see it for yourself.
Okay.
And even if it charges you, it's going to charge you $10, and you will see the whole process.
It's not the $10. It's the
The process is simple, Anna. So if you're
Okay.
after simplicity, that's your solution.
Okay, well, let me explain. I want
Yeah.
to book pottery classes. I really only want to have like a 3 or 4 mile radius. I want to be able to do everything I get to do in Google Ads. And, like I put in all kinds of keywords that are zip codes and all that other kind of stuff. Is that going to be easy? Because I already have about 1,800
think so.
keywords I want. Yeah. And I already did the
I think
research.
so.
I'm ready to go. But I was thinking, wow, this would be great if I could do this in HighLevel, because this client is on HighLevel. So then they would
Yep.
see the money spent, right?
I don't think you
Yep.
can do a mass import of your keyword list yet. I think it's a one at a time.
Yeah, you will have to, I think,
So
manually add.
yeah, one at a time. So if you got a keyword list of 1,800, which I think is too much, I think you'd want to break that up into different groups.
Yeah.
That's not going to be a solution. If you're looking to go after buyer intent in most situations is no more than 20 keywords. Perfect. I don't know about extensions for local businesses, which is definitely usable. You definitely want to use that when you're going after local businesses. So, but I'm assuming that's all going to be coming in the very near future. Pottery, I would be using. Why don't you go out to Facebook? I would run a Facebook ad for pottery.
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
There you go,
No, I
Anna.
mean, I already have. Thank you. Thank you. I've already done
There's a-
that before. This client has been a client for more than 15 years. So it's an absolute waste of time and money. Absolutely.
Well, high
There's
intent.
a YouTube link there, Anna, on the Google Ads workshop, HighLevel did. I would recommend go through that.
Okay.
Because they went through the whole ads manager just for Google. What it's currently able to do, based on that. They
All right,
did a
perfect.
3-day workshop. 3-day workshop. That's the link is day 1. If you want to check out the day 2 and day 3, just go to the YouTube channel and live section in the YouTube. But that's exactly what they covered.
Okay, awesome.
Yep.
All right, cool. Thank you for everybody and all the answers.
Does
Awesome.
anybody else have wins and stuff or other questions? I guess.
We've got Dan, Gary, Jay in the house.
Yep.
I got a couple. I picked up a few voice AI agent type things. It's just a voicemail replacement.
Yeah.
People really aren't even logged in, or they don't really even
Perfect.
log in. The biggest issue with them is forwarding their phone, or forgetting to forward their phone. But one thing I dropped in the chat, with the updates the last couple weeks and everything kind of changing, with the tone of the bot and the voices getting random. So I got on a call with Peru from HighLevel. When you're looking at voices, you can't see this in HighLevel, but if you have an 11 Labs account, scroll through all the voices over on 11 Labs, and any voice that has an HQ next to it are their best voices, and see if the name of that voice coincides with the name in HighLevel. And you get
nice
the
tip.
HQ voices, you're going to find better pronunciations, a little smoother. And then the other thing too is, like, when you say, like, the bot says certain things like, "Oh, your name is Dan, awesome," like real creepy. He showed me how to get that out of
Can you say that again, Dan?
awesome, Pat, and I know you love it like that.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
told you I only
that
talk to you
is-
like that on the private Zoom.
That is creepy.
Thought we kept that on our private Zooms.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, so just by telling the bot don't use those words, it has made a tremendous improvement with the tone of the bot, because I have an attorney that's testing the bot, and when they changed everything last week and the tone got crazy, I mean, he got like 3 phone calls. He called me 3 times. He's like, "Can you listen to this call?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, I got a DUI," and he's like, "Awesome." I was like, what the fuck?
I'm glad you mentioned that, because that is exactly what I'm talking about with criminal lawyers. You can't be like, "Oh, so you beat your kids?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Let's
Yeah,
book an appointment." No.
He was okay about it because, the guy needs representation, and he's kind of on the lower end of the pecking order for who people can afford. So and what he's paying for what I'm charging him is nothing. But I gave a couple of the recordings to Peru, and he's also gonna work on helping me figure out, like, when it's like, my basement's flooded, and the bot's like, "Oh no, what a mess," like how to get rid of that kind of fake tone, because it's baked in. I asked him, I said, "Why does it keep doing that?" He said, "That's baked into 11 Labs." and you have to explicitly prompt it out. So he's going to work on. So anyway, I thought I'd share that, and if anybody else wants to. But if anybody's out there, just I've been getting people by cold calling them and just saying, hey, like, what do you do for missed calls? I got something that might work. And then it's sending them a VSL, and then they call the demo. Some do, some don't. But people are willing to try it, from what I'm talking to, as a just a voicemail replacement. And then my hope is to, get them sticky with that, and then, introduce the rest of the stuff, because you can onboard them with the voicemail replacement in, 20 minutes.
Say, get them sticky. Awesome, Dan.
Do it later.
You guys really need to get it on private. You know what I'm saying? This is too much for the rest of us. Stop it already. So the lawyer that you got, what kind of lawyer? And did you get him through cold calling or just through networking or?
Picked up the phone and called him. Got lucky and
Okay.
he answered the phone.
Okay. Did you call like around 1 or 2?
Called at 4:30 in the afternoon.
Oh, wow. That is pretty lucky.
Yeah.
All right. So I was thinking about going after lawyers, but not my usual type.
So
But I was
let me
thinking
just,
about
before
new
you go,
lawyers.
Anna, before you go down that road, and just kind of tell you what I'm doing with my cold calling.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a hodgepodge list of people near me: insurance agents, contractors, lawyers that are criminal
Okay.
defense. And I loaded up a cold calling kind of snapshot power dialer into HighLevel. So by the time the phone's ringing, I don't even know who I'm calling until I look at the name of the business. And the reason I do that is, if I sat there and thought about it, I would talk myself out of calling a lawyer at 4:30 in the afternoon, thinking, you know what, he's probably having a scotch down the street at the bar by now, or he's smoking a cigar somewhere, and I wouldn't call him. So the power dialer set up in HighLevel, you just hit the button, it dials the number. I have like just a couple clicks that get me on to the next call. Will automatically send the video to people that are interested once I enter their email. And that's the only way I can get it done. Otherwise, I would overanalyze it, and I'm just calling same script with everybody. All I'm asking is if I can send them an email. I'm not asking for a meeting. And if they watch the video I send them and then they call the demo, great. If they don't, they don't. I do have like, a little bit of a chase sequence after they get the email to kind of convince them to get, to the next
So
stage.
your call is you just call like, what are you doing for missed calls? I have a solution, like voicemail 2.0.
Pretty much. I
So
play
do you
around with
have a
I
script,
play
or
around
do
with the
you?
script a little bit, like, hey, this is a cold call. I know you're not expecting it. Do you got a minute? I talk to a lot of small business owners that, missing calls is an issue. Today people don't leave voicemails. They just call a competitor. Does this sound like you? Well, yeah, kind of. Cool. I got something that might help you answer the phones. This is the crazy part. It's AI. I know that sounds weird, but it works. I got a video I can send you and you can listen to it. Can I send it over? Yes or no?
What's the video, Dan?
What's that?
What's the video, man?
What's the video?
Yeah, that you're sharing with them.
I just
Just
put
the
a
VSL.
I put a VSL together that kind of just goes over how the voice AI works and what's involved. Like, the VSL I have is 3 minutes, but it also talks about like the whole SaaS plan. Like, I can help you get reviews, the whole thing. But under the video is the phone number where they can call my demo bot.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, that's
Yeah.
sweet, man.
Yeah, and I got a couple things set up in it. The link to the video in the email that I send them is a trigger link. I get a text message every time they click the link. So if I see somebody clicked it 3 times, I'm calling them, hey, notice you're looking at the video again. It's not that many people that are like, clicking and letting me send them an email. You know what I mean? I find like, some days half the people I call don't answer the phone. I don't leave voicemails either. I just, and the dialer that I have is set up so that I'll call businesses up to 4 times before they get removed from the list.
So you don't even do a VM drop or anything like that?
Nah, because some of
You
them are
just put 'em back in-
landlines. The
you just put
VM
'em back
drop's
in
not even going to
rotation.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just put them back in rotation. That's about it.
I put them back in rotation because this is an out scraper list. Like I don't have emails. If I had a really good quality list with data, I might do this different. Like include an email at the same time as the call. Be like, yo, dude, you just I called you 3 times. You missed every one of them. You have to see this. It'll solve your missed call problem.
Yeah.
You know? And Jared, you're laughing. I mean, that's literally what I say. Like I'm not trying to like sound
It's so true though.
more smooth or
100%.
professional because I'm not.
Yeah.
I just want them to be like it's this blunt, you know.
It's super true though. Like I agree with you because I pointed out as well. Like we had this broker here where I live, and I've done some deals with like pretty much every broker I've done something with more recently, and this one I've never been able to connect with on the phone. And it's like far out the amount of money that this one broker in particular would be losing, and they use our local radio station and advertising options like that. So they'd have inbound inquiry coming through, and they don't even answer the phone. Like what's the point of having the business there? So I agree with you, Dan, 100%. I think I'd be interested to know why you don't leave voicemails, because I know everyone's got different reasons for that, but I'd just be curious to know why you're not leaving voicemails as well.
Just my thought is like, you know, if the guy's not answering the phone, he's probably got like 6 or 7 voicemails. You know what I mean? And I've very rarely ever found that, like, I've been in sales a long time too, that like, you know, leaving a voicemail gets somebody to call you back. So I'd much rather just get you live on the phone. Yo, this is a cold call. You know, if you want to hang up, hang up. If not, do you have a minute? Yeah, all right. What's this about? And tell them what it is. Can I send you an email? Yeah, okay. Or no. Like, you know, for me, it's the other thing. Now, I do get some people that'll be like, call me back, and they're like, yeah, I saw I missed a call from you. And they don't even say what company it is. Some will be like, yeah, this is, you know, Jared's Roofing. I saw you missed a call. You know, were you looking for a quote? So I had to add a couple things like the call disposition to mobile. So if you call me, because I upload the list, so if they're calling from the business number, it'll show up like I actually know that I called the people.
Yeah, because the other thing as well is it just gives you another reason to anchor your point of why you're calling as well by leaving the voicemail. It's like, hey, look, so I tried to call, you know, I've reached your voicemail. I'd be curious to know how often that happens, because, you know, often businesses like yourself are leaving money on the table by missing these calls. Hey, look, I've got something pretty interesting that's pretty new in the local area you might be interested in. Give me a call back on this number. But I'd be more inclined to do that, because if you're already putting in the effort of making the cold call, because I know that that's a really cool game. I like to cold call myself, but I know a lot of people don't. If you're already playing the game, Dan, I'd just be leaving the voicemail as well, so that you've just dotted your I's and crossed your T's.
I mean, maybe, but like I know me personally, like, and if I'm sitting there and I dedicate like, you know, 40 minutes, right? I can go through in the power dialer, I don't know, like if no one's answering the phone, 30 to 40 to 50 numbers. And my hope is, you know, to get like 20 to, I don't know, 30% of the people to answer the phone and have a conversation. If I'm leaving a voicemail for all of them, like I'm gonna need a drink of water between each call, and by the time I leave the 20th voicemail, it's gonna be like, yeah, I got something that's really cool. It answers your phones when you don't pick up the phone. Like I just know, like that's me. Like so, the voicemail drop would work if you're doing cell phone numbers, but it doesn't work if it's landlines or VoIP numbers. So I mean, again, it's to me, it's a matter of like I've just in all my time never had success with voicemail. So
It also adds on average 2.5 minutes to your call time. And if you're trying to get through calls, I mean, I loved it when people would leave a voicemail, because that let me know who exactly to block, and I'll never talk to you again. Oh, thanks for leaving a voicemail. Now I know you're selling me crap that I don't want, and block.
everyone's leaving Charles a voicemail as we speak.
No.
What's your number, Charles? You drop your number in the chat, would you?
Sure.
What are you talking about, Pat? You have his number.
Yep.
I would just like to say one thing on this. It depends. So, Jared, like, you're in a very different place than America. You know what I'm saying? So, I would say that voicemails are received differently by different industries. A lot of insurance people would really would want a voicemail. A lot of realtors would really want that. But like if you're calling, I don't know, driller rotators or pottery places or lawyers, I would say not. And that doesn't mean in your area, but here, probably it's like what they're saying, like it's a reason for me to now block you, you know? Or what happens with a lot of people, especially like if it's a president of something of more than 5 people, when their voicemail gets full, their wife tells them, and then they just delete all their voicemails. They don't even listen. So it kind of just depends a little bit on the industry, and like on who you're calling. But I don't know. I'm kind of more in the mindset of just leaving the voicemail. I'd rather them block me, So it's you know what I'm saying though. But there's some industries where they're just really not even gonna listen at all.
The other thing for me too is like if I call somebody and I have it set up where I'm going to call them 4 times, right? So what I try to do is I try to keep the list relatively small so that, those calls might come like every other day or every couple days. I want them to see, hey, I missed a couple calls from this number. And then they call me back and they're like, well, why didn't you leave a voicemail? I'm like, well, no one leaves voicemails. It drives the point home.
I like
The
what
other
you're saying.
part too is like with what Anna said, if you call an attorney or you call an insurance agency, you might get their general voicemail. You might get the wrong person's voicemail.
Yeah.
Not the person making the call. So like I said, I mean, I don't know. Like I just want to like get through it because I mean, I've sat down many a time and I'm like, hey, I'm going to make 100 calls today. And like, I'll get through 20 and then like, like, man, it's really sunny out. I like, man, it's nice out. I'll just go for a short walk. Next thing I know, I'm on the 14th hole. And,
yeah, then you're all like, my health is important. I'll call tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, so I made calls today.
Congratulations.
I called chiropractors, and I had 50-50 split on leaving voicemails and regular talking to. Now, in that space, I'm not looking to talk to the chiropractor because you're never getting that person on the phone.
Right,
so I'm going after
office manager.
Exactly. And that's where I would say leaving a voicemail is fine. But if you're doing small businesses like contractors, absolutely not. Go after the volume, like Dan's saying. But if you're going after somebody where you're not going to talk to the final decision maker, but you got to go through that person to get to the decision maker, absolutely leave a voicemail.
I did a little experiment before I started calling like some of the businesses, especially like insurance brokers and attorneys. And I told Steve about it. I spent like a week calling businesses between like 9 and 10 o'clock at night when I knew they were closed, just to see the percentage of how many went straight to voicemail, like an answering machine type voicemail versus an IVR versus a call center. And it's like 80% still have voicemail. Some have IVRs. And then if it was an IVR, it probably still goes to a voicemail, but I didn't bother. So that just let me know, okay, as a voicemail replacement, this thing could work if you position it that way.
In total agreement with you on that.
I mean, if you're as smooth as Jared, leaving voicemails might make it rain. I have no idea. You know what I mean? It's just,
So the guys can see me. I'm actually getting my workout out now. So too far.
So I
but
do want to
back to the when Pat asked me before about the prompts. I've been positioning it at like 197 or 179 as a straight voicemail replacement for some people, just setting them up where they get an email summary of the call. I'll tweak it a little bit so it's not just that standard giant long transcript. And so far so good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so your pricing is that, and you're doing just like the regular, or you're doing the $97 a month?
I'm not doing the $97 a month. Matter of fact,
Mm-hmm.
I've even been trying to go after HighLevel to give us some alternative pricing. And Charles was nice enough to help me with that a little bit to where, like right now, the whole AI employee unlimited is $97 a month. What I'm trying to do is to get them to tweak it a little bit. So let's say you wanted to offer a plan and you would have control of it, but you could put a SaaS plan together that is, $179 a month and includes 300 voice AI minutes. And those minutes would be charged to you, the agency, at HighLevel's cost of 13 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Once your customer hits that 300 minutes, rebilling would kick in at whatever markup you want.
Yeah, you're just doing granulated rebilling. I think a lot of people want that.
Well, that you know them. They think their AI employee unlimited is the be all. And some of the things that are supposedly coming down the road, if they all came out tomorrow and worked, yeah, it would probably be worth the money, but it ain't gonna work when it comes out. So for a little while, because that's the way it goes.
Such positivity. I love the positive energy.
He's
Well,
That
positive.
shit ain't
talk
gonna
about-
work when it
listen,
comes out.
He's positive. That's true because it
You
is.
talk about one wheel skateboards. I talk
I
about
know.
the wheel doesn't have bearings or any bolts holding it on.
I talk about
Okay, I mean you're just hoping it don't fall off.
two beer cans. You know.
Charles,
1 minute you're riding an American skateboard, the next minute it's Australian. Yeah,
Charles,
no idea.
clarification. The AI employee, our cost is $79, correct?
97.
No, 97.
97.
Oh, it's 97 is our cost? For some reason, I
That's
thought it
the
was.
cost for unlimited.
Okay, what's 79 then? Oh, just conversations?
What?
Nothing. 79 is
Nothing is
nothing.
79.
He was
Okay.
saying that his pricing he gives to people saying, hey, you want a voicemail AI person? That's $179 a month or $197 a month. Like he's been trying different pricing. That's what he was saying. Uh-oh.
Like you said, I'm on my walk and I'm trying to be polite and mute myself. Yeah, I
No,
know all
so-
about that.
So, hold on.
Talking
what
about our
I-
cost.
Okay, so the only $79 product is Atlas SEO.
Okay. All right, then. All right. That's in my head. So it is $97 because Pat and I was talking about this the other day. So,
Correct.
okay.
AI is 97. SEO is 79.
Okay. Thank you.
Very well.
But nobody's really doing the $97 a month one, right? Everybody's just doing the pay as you go.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
now.
pretty much.
Okay.
I mean, it depends on the usage, right? It
Well,
just
like-
doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Like if
for
the
my
usage is for $25 a month, why would you pay 97 for it? Unless you know a client is twice in a row, 2 months has bypassed like $97 worth of usage, then it makes sense to jump onto 97 unlimited. But otherwise, it
Or
just
if you're
doesn't
like
make sense.
running a bunch of ads to a landing page that has an example
Yeah.
call and like, I mean, and you're using
Like if you're
conversation
anticipating-
AI.
yeah.
I mean, if you know you're going to be pushing a lot of traffic and there's a chance, sure, go ahead. It's $97. It's $97
it's the good
breaks
deal.
you
Like
bigger
that 97
problems.
is a good deal as well. It's just it
It is.
depends on what you're anticipating. Like, are you going to use that? Think of $97 as a credit, right? First, forget unlimited. Let's say for $97 you get $97 worth of credit. How much usage are you going to use based on the per minute and per message costs or per review reply? Because those are the only 3 AI products, in my honest opinion, everyone's going to use. Everything else, I mean, it's just, hey, we have a funnel AI. Who uses it? So it depends on the usage. Don't go for unlimited right away, in my honest opinion. Just track it for a month or 2 and see how your clients are performing. And if you think that you're going to launch a $10,000 worth of ad every month and expecting like 500 calls in a month, then maybe it makes sense for you to jump into 97 unlimited. Otherwise, no. For an average business, I don't think so. You should jump onto 97 right away.
Okay, cool.
Well,
Right. Let's hear from Gary. What's up, Gary?
I'm just still
What's happening
learning
in your
from you
world?
guys. I'm learning from you guys, learning what you're what you're charging, how you're pitching it, and I think I just need to get out there and start trying to sell it and not worry about anything else. Get
Well, who are
someone to
you
say
going to
yes.
sell it to? What's your
Local
idea of
biz,
selling it? Mm-hmm.
yeah, local businesses. I mean, contractors, anyone that's missing phone calls. Do some brainstorming, and that should be easy. Maybe get some people that are in my immediate geographic area so I can just say, talk about other businesses that are close by. So it's, in other words, it's something that's recognizable. That's
And
what my thought is.
what's the offer you're thinking of selling? Voice AI?
Well, in the past,
Oh,
it'd be voice AI and the chatbot, with AI. In the past, when I've sold it, the problem I had is people would get too complicated. It would be too complicated for them to learn the whole SaaS piece. So what I think I want to do is just not sell the SaaS, just sell them the AI part, and then deliver the leads to them in whatever form they want, and just not even, if they're technical enough, great. But I had a roofer that I worked with for a while, and he didn't even use the SaaS part because all he wanted was the end result, which was a different type. This is way before AI, so that was one example. But that's been my experience, is that people just want the result. They don't really care about the technology behind it. Some people do, but so I think I'm just going to try and sell the AI part and not the SaaS. Try and separate them. So
yeah,
I'm
this
just
whole
trying to learn from
SaaS
you
thing,
guys.
right? I mean, everyone gets excited. I want to sell a SaaS client, SaaS client. No, you just want a client. How about that? Let's focus on that first. Because SaaS, yeah, we understand there is a thing called being a SaaSpreneur with HighLevel now, just like with ClickFunnels, it used to be Funnel Hacker. Now it's a new cult HighLevel's creating, which is SaaSpreneur, which is good. It's so much different than what ClickFunnels is. But at the end, everyone's still running for that SaaSpreneur award. Stop focusing on that. Not pointing on you, Gary, but just in general. This is what I see in the community, right? How about, so our solution is we sell reputation management for 179 a month. They don't even get an account. Everything is just done, right?
Yeah.
Just like Dan said, he's selling the voicemail product. They don't even get an account. It's just done for you, right?
Yeah.
Those are good clients. When you give them access to the software, they have to play with it. They have to understand. It depends. I mean, Charles is here, so he would object me on that because his clients are very sophisticated. They know how to use the tools and all that. If not, he's got systems and processes in place. That is why he's winning. So he's got all the systems and processes in place to, if you don't know how to use it, he's got a team to back it up and all that to help them how to use it. That's why he's got so many clients. For people who don't have all that in place, right? Think of it this way. How can you not give them access and still deliver value? Those clients will stick more because once they log into your software and all that, they get lost. Oh, there's one more thing I have to manage. That's a nightmare. We get lost in HighLevel. Guess how much they will be lost. So if you can figure out an offer where you don't even have to give them access, and when I say offer, a foot in the door offer, like just to get them as a client, and then you can upsell them on other things. But figure out what you can do without even giving them access.
Yeah,
Or,
that's great advice.
or maybe just a phone. Mobile phone is much simpler version of HighLevel. Maybe just give them access to the phone. Like, hey, here, log into the phone and our app would, you can see everything in the app. You don't have to log into desktop because that's much
Yeah.
better experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
So
I'll tell you, once they start looking at and dealing with workflows, like you kind of lose them.
in my honest opinion, no one,
It-
unless they know what they're doing, they should not have access to workflows at all. So for my current clients, I lock all the workflows that I've built. They don't get to see what's built, nothing at all. So you can set permissions for workflows, put them all into a folder and lock the folder. only admins, agency admins have access to those folders. My clients doesn't even see those workflows. Because once they start playing with it, it's going to be a nightmare. Like, again, if people know what
Honestly,
they're
I've
doing,
had
that's
so
totally
many
fine.
clients and they don't play with it. I'm literally showing them, look, I did this with the workflow and this app. Like to show them what's going to happen, I have to show them the workflow. Then they say, oh, no, I want the language to say more like this, or I want that, or can we change this? What about that? Da, 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 da. But they still
You know
know
what
that
you
there's
can do
workflows.
that I do? You can have all the messaging inside your workflows be snippets or templates.
Correct.
And they get access to those. I lock all mine, they're read only. Couple people, I open it up. So as I'm demoing the workflows for them, they're getting the messages on their cell phone and they say, hey, I want to change the message. Okay, you can get into the snippet and change it here. But don't you dare touch the links, because if you screw that part up, like, mess up a
Right.
trigger link, then you're screwed. But back to Gary, like, I don't know who you're going after, but I deal with a lot of home service people, and I'm kind of branching out now into more professional services with the voice AI. But I keep everybody like 99.9% on the mobile app. They always have it on them. That's where they're going to get their lead, on their phone. Like, and there's a lot you can do to make it so they can send review requests if you're not using the native one in HighLevel. So if I think you mentioned contractors local to you,
Yeah.
go in with like a voice AI kind of voicemail replacement. And if you need help, reach out. And then once they get a couple clients, be like, okay, now what are you doing to get reviews from them? There's the upgrade path.
Right.
Okay. Because what I
That's
want to
smart.
do is all the people that are on my 179 voicemail replacement plan, I want them to get to 297. And, I'm still hoping that HighLevel will one day give us some kind of alternative pricing, because I would very much like to offer a 297 plan a month. You get 450 voice AI minutes. I'll pay the $50 for that. And then over and above, I'm going to rebill you 25 cents a minute. By the time they get to that point, they're not going to say no. I mean, like, they're already sticky. So, the voice AI is maybe, I think I've been on HighLevel 3 some years now. It's the easiest, maybe the easiest thing to sell. It's the easiest thing to demo. It's damn sure the easiest thing to set up and deploy, because you can go out and just tell the contractor, forward your number. And you can, depending on the phone carrier, set it up so that if they don't answer the phone after X amount of rings, then it forwards to the number. So
Yeah,
Pat
makes
has a
sense.
sheet, I think, and you have to check with different phone carriers. No Verizon lets you do it. I don't know about T-Mobile.
Yep.
If they have a VoIP number, like a Ring Central or something, they certainly let you do it.
Yeah, that's easy.
And
Yeah.
then just make it like a no-brainer offer. And if you have to, find a local contractor and be like, look, I don't even know if this thing works. You want to try it? Play stupid.
Yeah,
You get
that's
one, you
an
can get
interesting
10.
angle. Yeah, exactly.
If you get 10, you can get 100.
Right.
Or you
Find
can just set up
one.
a demo. You can set up a demo voice AI number and reach out to their contractor and say, hey, I know this works for dental industry right now. We have a few dental clients who are using this, but I'm curious to see how it would work in your industry. Would you be open to try it out? Like, so you're saying like, yeah, it works in this industry, but I want to branch into your industry now. And would you be my guinea pig for free or whatever? Just give them, hey, let's just test it out, So
Yeah, that's good. Great advice.
but yeah, have a demo ready for sure. Get them to call, and that you'll see their eyes perk up when they start talking. So I've had that demo voice call. If they start, anyone I meet, like, I just, hey, do you want to talk to Jenna, which is our voice AI demo bot, right? Literally, I dial from my phone, get them to start talking, and then you'll wait for the reactions, and they're like, oh, dude, they will come with 5 or 10 different questions for you. They would try to
Wow.
sell it themselves. So that demo is very powerful.
I'll tell you something else too, and this is just, like my experience, but when I initially was sending the video sales letter to people, underneath my video, I had 4 recordings so they could listen to different industries. I had an insurance one, a barber shop. Everybody would just listen to the recordings and nobody would call the demo number. So I pulled all the recordings off of it.
Interesting.
Yeah, because if they listen to a recording and it doesn't immediately mesh with how they think it should go, you're done. But if they're actually talking to it and the AI pivots a little bit and what have you, it's worked better. More people called the number since I pulled the recordings off.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, what I'm
So
hoping
either
to do
voice
is,
AI as a foot in the
when
door.
summer comes here, like it's coming, is like, can I get this kind of nailed down and get some better lists? Is hire a couple college kids part-time that don't know any better, that don't know cold calling sucks. Just give them the script and even to the point where they say like, hey man, sorry for the cold call. I'm a college kid. This is my summer job. can I send you the email anyway?
Yeah.
Let's see if it works.
So either that offer voicemail or voice AI offer or reputation offer, like both of them are crushing it right now. So pick and choose. I mean, you can upsell either or. So
Yeah,
pick one and run with the foot in the door.
Yeah, I think the voice AI is powerful because like what Charles was just saying, they can hear it and they can interact with it themselves, and it's pretty impressive. So I think that's what I'm going to lead with.
Cool. Hope that helps.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. With that, should we call it a day? We got another meeting to attend.
Yeah.
Pat?
Sounds good.
All right. That's it then.
Thanks a lot. Have a good night.
Chat you
Thanks,
guys
guys.